Welcome, Kuma, to another World of Warcraft mailbox opening. You're here with Kuma. This is the place where I open up my mailbox for the month, and I more or less discuss everything I've been doing in the month and what I plan to do in the next month to make more gold. Now, before I start opening the mailbox, which is quite literally full, I just wanted to mention that I just built one of these things. It's one of these ancient trading mechanism auctioneers for my bank toon as well as my main. So now I've got two of them, so now my bank toon never has to leave the garrison ever again, which is going to save me a lot of time. I finally managed to find the final part on the AH. It was first listed for 360,000 gold, but I ended up mailing the person and asking how much they want for it because 300,000 was a little bit much, and they more or less relisted it on the AH for 160,000 gold. I ended up buying it. I ended up building it for my bank. Now, this is just one part of the whole thing, so it wasn't to build the auction house guy, it cost me 160 gold. It's like, no, this was one part out of 3 for a component where you need 4 additional other components. So it was very expensive. So I'm just going to start opening my mailbox here on my hunter, because I need to do this on my hunter in order to do my Jewelcrafting guide. So this footage is going to be used on my Jewelcrafting guide, because there is a little bit of Jewelcrafting things as well as the usual enchanting things. So as you guys know, I always buy these abyss crystals. I shatter them using enchanting. I get the infinite dust, and I also get these greater cosmic essence, which seem to sell quite well in my server, fortunately. And then time to time I also do disenchant any sort of greens and whatnot that I get, and also these enchanting vellum. I remember in the last month's video you guys gave me shit. You're like, what kind of realm is this? He's buying this from the vendor, putting it on the AH, and idiots are buying it, even though I think this says that you buy it from the vendor. No, the inscription one says you buy it from the vendor, as well as the vanishing dust. It says you buy it from the vendor or it's created by inscription. But people still buy it from the AH for whatever reason. But more or less, I'm going to sell whatever can be sold on the AH because it's just easy gold. Now, I am holding on to these enchanting rings and enchanting gloves and whatnot because the price has dropped significantly since the beginning of 7.2.5. So at the beginning of 7.2.5, these were selling for a fortune because you could obliterate them and also sell the obliterum, and now that has dropped in price as well. But I do know for 7.3, ooh, look at that, versatile mouse from Sapphire, so that's my Jewelcrafting. I do know in 7.3 you will require obliterum as well as the new thing in order to upgrade the item level of your gear. So while obliterum prices have collapsed at the moment, they are going to go up again because they are going to be used to upgrade your item level. And everyone's thinking, oh well, you know, there's plenty of obliterum running around the server, and people are just going to list those on the AH and the price is going to drop even further. Maybe, maybe not, because what I think is going to happen is everyone is going to list their obliterum right at the beginning of 7.3, people are going to buy them up, and then the supply of obliterum is going to go to crap again because everyone's going to be playing on Argus. They're going to be too busy on Argus, questing on Argus, trying to raid, trying to PvP, trying to do all that sort of stuff, and the only way you can get obliterum is by making things pre-7.3. And not many people are going to be rushing to be doing that because they're going to be busy with 7.3 content. I'm probably going to be doing that, but not many people are going to be doing that. So the supply of obliterum is actually going to go down significantly, and if the demand stays nice and high for 7.3, like I think it will, because it will be the final patch of this expansion, and we're going to have a lot of people coming back because a lot of people come at the end of the expansion to see what the hell's going on, because there are some rumors that, ooh, Jaina is going to be a Dreadlord confirmed final boss. We've just killed Gul'dan. So if they haven't come at the beginning of this expansion, or they come at the beginning and they've left, they're going to want to come at the end to just wrap it all up. So I believe that the supply is going to stay nice and low and the demand is going to be nice and high, which means the price is going to go up. Now that's what I'm betting. Luckily for me, I don't have a lot of obliterum on my toon, but I am going to have quite a bit because I'm starting to do my leatherworking guide, and of course leatherworking makes a lot of its gold from Obliterum and also disenchanting and whatnot. So I'm gonna have a lot of Obliterum for 7.3. So I'm just letting you guys know that my thoughts for 7.3 are that the price of Obliterum is gonna go up from what it is now. So on my server now it's selling for 1.1 thousand, which means these things are selling for about 1.4 because these things create 1.3 Obliterum. So the price is sort of floating at that amount. So I can, if I really wanted to, just go and obliterate these things. I've got no reason to. I'm just going to hold on to them as they are. And hopefully, they're also going to go up in price for 7.3 because everyone's going to want to enchant their new rings. Everyone's going to want to enchant their new equipment. And as you can see, the enchanting vellum actually sells. And look, Bisque crystals, I listed them for 100 gold each because I always buy them when they're about 10 gold. So I list them for an exorbitant amount relative to what I buy them. And I've got a few hundred sitting in my... Okay, I've got 2,000. So I always buy them whenever they're nice and cheap because I know I can always shatter them into infinite dust. So one of these Abyss crystals usually shatters to between 8 to 10 infinite dust. So to me, at today's price, it's worth 50 gold each. I buy them whenever they're under 10. So I'm always making money. And then I always put these up for an exorbitant amount because some people buy them. Same with these things. You buy them at the vendor. I think this thing tells me the vendor sell price is 10 silver. You buy it at the vendor for 8 silver and 50 copper if you're exalted. Ah, and these pendants are selling. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at what I've been selling for Jewelcrafting. For Jewelcrafting, as you can see, I've been selling these versatile Maelstrom sapphires, which are the blue gems. They're rare gems, but they're just standard gems, as well as versatile. Wait, are there other ones? There should be other ones. The sapphire is the blue one, but there's also other ones. Skystone loops, 2,000 gold. That's the ring. Those are the epic rings. So the epic rings from Jewelcrafting, I usually put on between 2,000 and 2,500 gold. I just don't want to accidentally close my mailbox because I'll lose how much gold it's been getting. But whenever it's an epic item like this, I put it between 2,000 gold, 2,500. A lot of people are going to say it's not worth that much. They're probably right, but I put it on for an exorbitant amount because I know if someone really wants to buy it, they don't care whether it's 1,000 gold or 2,000 gold in this expansion, given how much gold there is. So I put it nice and high so I can maximize the profit from it, which fortunately for me, it does sell. These Azurite pendants, I made them to level up my Jewelcrafting as well as all the rings. So in order to level up my Jewelcrafting, I was mostly crafting the rings because they take very little materials. In order to craft, they just take green gems. And then I got my Jewelcrafting up to 790. And then the final 10 levels, I had to craft the rare and epic pendants to get the final 10 levels, as well as go to the Darkmoon Fair. And I've just been selling those on the AH ever since. So I didn't more or less make those in order to sell to make gold. I had to make them in order to level my Jewelcrafting, and then I sell them afterwards. But you can also use them in the daily quests where you hand them in for 10 Blood of Sargeras plus whatever gold you get from your champion. Now, these Deadly Eye of Prophecy are the orange gems. They're rare orange gems, which you use for your gear. As you can see, I've been lazy. Do I have any gems in my gear at all? Do I have any gear that has a gem slot? I don't think I do. So that's the unfortunate thing. There's not as many gem slots as they used to be back in the day. But in my ring, I ended up using a green gem. I didn't use an epic or a blue. Because I do have the epic gems here. There are going to be new epic gems in 7.3. So the value of these did slip a little bit. But when 7.3 hits, the price of those gems is going to be huge. And not everyone's going to want to pay. I think the price of the gems in 7.3 would be around 10,000 gold, if not more. Because these are sitting on about 5,000 gold. And these used to sit on my server at 6,000, 7,000 gold while they were top shit. But it is 7.2.5, so people have been farming them for a while. So I think when the new gems come out, they're going to be more than 10,000 gold each. Just because the hardcore raiders that need every single stat they can get, especially if they're competitive, are going to be buying them. Because they're running to get Realm first or Oceania first or whatever. So they love to buy enchants, they love to buy gems, so they keep the prices nice and high because they love to buy the new ore as well, so they could prospect it and hopefully get the new gem. But I'm going to hang on to these. I'm not going to sell them for 5,000 gold because I believe when 7.3 hits, the price of these is going to go up because you're going to have the best gem. It's going to have, I think, 300 or 250 stats each is going to cost, say, 10,000 gold, and then this gem today costs 5,000 gold, which is half the price. I think the price is going to go up a little bit. And then you've got the cheapest gems, which are selling for what? 1,700 gold for the purple one. I think we saw 1,500 gold or 1,000 gold for the orange one, and a couple of hundred gold for the blue one. Those are the rare gems. I think they're also going to bump up in price a little bit because there's going to be more demand for them. And plus, there's going to be less people farming all the current fell slate ore and lace stone ore. Now, another thing that I like is, I'm curious as to whether or not we can use the Blood of Sargeras to buy the new ore. Because if we can, then it's worthwhile stocking this up. If we can't, then the price of the pre-existing ore is going to drop even more. Though less people are going to be farming it because less people are going to be doing world quests on the Broken Shore since we're in Argus. So that's kind of a big question mark. The question is whether or not we can use the Blood of Sargeras to buy the new ore. If we can buy the new ore with Blood of Sargeras, that's going to be very good for anyone that's stockpiled it. Very bad for me that just spent 500, 600 of the stuff during my mining video. But anyone that has like 1,000 stockpiled is going to make a lot of gold. Ooh, quick Dawnlight. Yeah, the quick ones, the haste ones, always sell for a lot. Damn bloody DKs and people using dots and things. They always sell for a lot. But, as you can see, luckily I made a fair bit off Jewelcrafting just by selling these gems. And I didn't even have to work hard for it. That was just the ores that I was making just while doing world quests and doing my mining video. So I made quite a bit of gold off the Jewelcrafting without having to actually farm, because look, there's still so much demand for these gems, even though they're not the epic ones. So people buy gems, people buy enchants, even if it's not the new expansion or the new raid tier, because everyone bought all their things at the beginning of 7.2.5 that were raiders. Everyone's more or less killed Jaden in normal mode that is a raider, and now they're fighting on heroic and whatnot. And the LFR still hasn't released the wing because it's only the 23rd of July. So anyone that's serious about Kill Jaden has already killed them by now, and they've gotten most of their gear by now. But look at all this. Look at all this. Versatile Maelstrom. So this is the blue one, and this is all the purple one. Look at this. That is a lot of gold coming from Jewelcrafting, because there's just so much demand for these things. And of course, you see Enchanting always selling the Legion for herbalism, because everyone that's doing a profession is going to want one of these. It's going to save them time when they're skinning, mining, or herbing. But there's so much demand for the damn gems. But anyone that is serious about Kill Jaden would have already got it. Now, what else have I done besides the usual? Of course, I've done the usual, selling these enchanting vellums, which I more or less buy from the enchanting hub over here in my garrison. I mean, I could run everything from my garrison. That's the whole point. So I've got my auction house right there. I've got my bank right there. See, my banker. I've got my enchanting hub right there where I get the enchanting vellums, and I've got that salvage yard over there, which gives me these loots, crate of salvaged goods, large crate of salvaged good, which then gives me herbs and a couple of other things. And then I've got my garrison resources, and then I go to the trade center here and buy other things. You'll see that because I've sold a lot of those materials on my actual bank, and you make a lot of gold off those from your tailor because you're selling hexweave bags and you're selling other things. But as you can see, this is just from Jewelcrafting and enchanting, and it's making a bucket load of gold. So in this month, I think it's already made enough to give me my token, just from enchanting and Jewelcrafting. So from 2 professions, I can buy my token, but this is not even my bank. This is just my main. Which is why I had to do the World Quest opening video prior to this, because I didn't have room. So these are the blue rings that I made using Jewelcrafting. With rank 2 Jewelcrafting, all that you need is 2 gems plus 1. So you get 2 of one color plus 1 of another color, and you make one of these. You can sell it on the AH for around 300 gold. You can disenchant it for 64 gold value because you're going to get one of these ley-like shards. Or you can obliterate it for 2 or 3. Obliterate, which I don't recommend because you're better off just disenchanting them if you really want quick gold. Same with this, you're going to get one of these epic gems, which is worth almost 150 gold. Don't obliterate it. But it says market value 400 gold. That's the average value of what it sells for. I always sell them for 2,000, 2,500 because I know if someone's going to buy it, they're going to buy it. Plus, no one else is really listing the epics on my server anyway. So this is an average value, which is the 436. The regional average value is 600. I'm selling one for the price of 3 or 4, and it still sells. So I'm not that fussed, because I'm not in that much of a rush to sell them. Though I've got a lot of these rings sitting on my DK. I've probably got 100 rings sitting on the DK, because the volume at which they sell is not very high. I might just disenchant them if I really need these shards, but I'm not in a rush, because I can trade them in during world quests for 10 Blood of Sargeras, which is always nice. And we're still going with the Jewelcrafting. Look at this. I might even screenshot this, it's ridiculous. This is just the pure Jewelcrafting, all Jewelcrafting gems. And now a little bit of this, but insane. Just insane. And it's just going. I had to do it now because I was worried, because the previous opening I did, I think, on the 24th or the 26th, and I'm cutting it very close. So anything that's been sitting in the mailbox for more than 30 days just gets deleted. So I had to do the opening today, so I can first do my video, because now today's Sunday, and second, so it doesn't get deleted, because I remember I once went on holiday and I wasn't able to log in because I didn't go to an internet cafe and I didn't bring a laptop or anything, and I came back to an empty mailbox, and my mailboxes are never empty, not even on a single toon. So a lot of gold got deleted. I was gonna cry, but, you know, didn't really mind that much. And more infinite dust. Yeah, in case you're wondering, a lot of people are asking what realm this is. This is Frostmourne. It's a US realm, but a lot of Horde used to play it back in the day. It's the first realm where I started as a Horde. So this is US Frostmourne, but it does have a lot of Oceanic players. Unfortunately, there's more Alliance than Horde on this realm, but I can't really see myself leaving because I have all my toons here. And given that even when I'm out doing world quests with a world quest group finder, I ended up grouping with people from Bartholus, or sometimes Jubathos as well. And then I ended up getting ported to that realm, and then I'm just surrounded by a bunch of Horde anyway. So I can't see myself paying for a character transfer for all my alts just to end up on the same thing in world PvP anyway. But I don't mind being surrounded by Alliance anyway, because it gives me more opportunity to gank people if I really do want to. Because I wouldn't mind getting 250,000 honorable kills. This character is not very old. This character was actually started in Kata. So this hunter was started in Kata. Most of my toons are from Kata, so this account really was started in early Kata. No, wait, was it? Yeah, it was started in Kata. Yeah. This account was really started in Kata. So I've got 130,000 kills since Kata, and I wouldn't really mind getting 250,000. So when I can live stream, I will be doing some PvP, and this will definitely get bumped up. But in the meantime, we're just doing these opening videos and these discussion videos. Now, I can't really discuss much else on what I'm doing, because I've just covered everything that I do on my hunter. So I may do one of those quick montages while everything's opening here, and then we can just get to a total. Because I think we've made 200,000 or 300,000 gold already on the hunter, and I don't know what date we're up to. We'll see by the how many days ago it's been sitting. I'm hoping we're more than halfway. Otherwise, this could take a while. I know I did sell a lot of auctions, so I'm not surprised there's a lot of gold coming in, but it's more so, I don't know how many days worth we've already opened. We'll see now by this. We'll see now by this. Let's see how long this montage thing is going to be, because I don't have that much to say for this hunter. Okay, 10 days. Oh, it will be deleted in 10 days. So we've still got like a week worth to go back. Oh God. So that's probably at least another 100,000 gold. Look at this, more gems. Crap, and I was selling them for a lot cheaper. So see, I sold the Deadly for 700. I sold the Eye of Prophecy, this for 300. There's just so much gold. And there's another week's worth to open. So I'll probably end up getting 500, 600,000 gold from this month on this toon from Jewelcrafting and Enchanting. So, like I always say, enchanting on your main is always good. Jewelcrafting, is not bad, but I can't see myself deleting it after the amount of time I put into it, because I was originally a Jewelcrafter in Burning Crusade. That toon got banned anyway. But I did put a lot of effort to get a lot of the gems. There's not as many gem slots in this expansion as there are in the previous, But you never know. Next expansion, they could bring more gem slots. You never know what people are doing, what Blizzard's going to do with the expansions anyway. And I don't want to get a Gathering Profession on my Hunter because I can't even be fucked skinning half the time. I can't even be fucked mining half the time. And oh yeah, the Defiled Augment Runes. I sold these when they were worth 600 gold. At the moment, they're worth 500. I know that's not much of a difference, but I don't want to sell them for that low because I know as soon as a new raid tier comes out, these things sell for 700-800 gold. So I'm just gonna keep stockpiling everything that I get from LFR. This is like 10,000 gold worth. It's gonna be worth a lot more later. So I'm just gonna keep stockpiling them until the next raid tier comes out and then just sell them and make a crap ton of gold anyway. So I'm not in a rush, but that works for my server. Because in my server, I know what happens every single patch. Because I've been on this server for so long. So every time there's a raid tier, these items go through the roof. I also know in this server that the price of materials is sometimes higher than the crafted item. If that's the case, you might as well sell materials on this server instead of the crafted item. I couldn't even be bothered selling this, which is 855. I've been trying to list it, but it doesn't really sell because not many people need it. So I might end up just giving it to my shaman to boost the item level so my shaman can do LFR as soon as possible. I don't really care. It's 5,000 gold. It's not that much. And look, we've still got a week to go. But as you can see, Greater Cosmic Essence is selling like crazy. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this here. It's going to do a little montage thing, and then we're going to go onto my actual bank and see what I've been selling for the month. So, do I have that South Park montage music? No. I might get demonetized if I play that, so I might not. But yeah, see? I was selling... Oh yeah, this was... No. This was at the start of the patch. So at the start of the patch, if I can move this up a little bit... where is it? 7,775 gold. Saber's Eye of Strength. That is this one. At the moment, it's selling for 5,000 gold. At the start of the patch, it was selling for about 8,000 gold. That's because at the beginning of a patch, everyone wants to get these for the new gear, even though there's not that many slots. So this is towards the beginning of 7.2.5. See? And this is 8,000 gold after Auction House takes their slice. So they've all been selling for more than 8,000 gold at the start of 7.2.5, and I sold quite a bit of them. If I scroll up, can I see if there's more of them? The volume at which they sell is not huge. It's like 4 or 5 a day. I mean, look, not even one of these sells a day. 5 to 6 of these sells on average. 7 of these maybe. 5 of these maybe. So a lot of them don't sell on a daily basis, but when they do sell, you make a decent profit. But the bad thing about these things is you're going to have to prospect a lot, because the materials in order to buy a Saber Eye by themselves cost more than the Saber Eye, and sometimes the Saber Eye costs more than the actual gem. So Saber Eye costs 5,200 gold. These gems are selling for what? 5,100. So if you get them yourself by prospecting, they're worth it. And you might be thinking, oh, then why are you selling the gem? Why don't you just sell the items themselves in order to make the gems? Like, yeah, the items themselves to make the gem are more expensive of the AH than the gem itself, but the problem is no one's buying them, because anyone that's really doing anything is getting the materials from prospecting, because the materials from prospecting are significantly cheaper than the gems. And then you might be thinking, why don't you just buy the ore and prospect it in order to make the gems? The problem with that is it's all about luck. So you've got a good chance of making a lot of gold, but then you've got a good chance of not making a lot of gold and losing gold. And in the meantime, you're going to spend an hour at a time doing it. So you're going to waste more than an hour taking a gamble on whether or not you're going to make gold. I mean, some people like doing that because some people are at work and they start playing World of Warcraft at work. So they're getting paid whatever at work. They're not doing shit. Meanwhile, I'm doing this on my own time. I don't want to spend an hour prospecting. Though I did spend an hour prospecting at one point. And at one point, I spent 40 minutes prospecting in order to get a green gem. The green gem, which is the most expensive gem in Jewelcrafting at the moment, in order to create a Saber's Eye. Because in order to create the Saber's Eye, you need the red one, you need the green one. I think you need a couple of other ones. Whichever ones you don't need in order... Oh yeah, red one, green one. Yeah, the ones that you don't use for selling the rare gems. So I ended up spending 40 minutes of prospecting, like doing it properly, in order to get one of those gems. Because every single time I was switching back and forth from Laystone to Fellslate, even if I switched to Fellslate, I ended up just getting the green gem, but it wasn't the rare green gem which I need for the Saber's Eye. It just ended up being the normal one. it's got a lot to do with luck, and that is the pain in the ass. That is why I don't really like jewel crafting. Some people like it because they have a lot of time on their hands, or they're just sitting at work where they're getting paid an hourly wage, and then they're just prospecting. Whoop. Sorry. I really have to get that boon and thing. I'm still waiting for it. The boon arm and that, so that can't really happen. So they're just sitting at work and prospecting. They're getting paid anyway. I don't want to spend hours at a time just prospecting because, believe it or not, it's boring. You got to slightly pay attention. There are ways to automate it as much as possible by using add-ons, but I like to pay attention because add-ons do sometimes glitch. And if the add-on glitches and you don't notice it straight away and you're just using it over and over and over again, it's just going to waste all your gold anyway. So, whatever. But we're almost done on this. But, yeah, I'm saving up these. Jewel crafting is all about bloody luck. Luckily enough, I didn't need to buy a lot of ore. I did buy a little bit of ore just to show how prospecting works. For the most part, I just used the ore that I had from the mining guide, and I used about 500 of my bloods of Sargeras. And now I'm getting some of these rings that didn't sell. Yeah, so at the start of the expansion, not the expansion, but the patch, these were selling for a lot more. But these things are always selling for about 130, 140 gold, which is not that bad because it only takes one of these Leylight shards, which is 70 gold value, to create one of these, which is like 100 gold value. It's not a massive margin, but it's a nice margin. Okay, so I'm just going to wait till this thing finishes. I'll be back in a second. My god, this is still going. This must be the new stuff that just sold. It just said 29 days. Yeah, and I actually sold some gem chips. These are all the gem chips that you get from prospecting. And funnily enough, the only thing these gem chips are used is food that you do with cooking. But it's not bad. I think it's one of the feasts that you make with cooking that's used for raids. So sure, those sell. But that's the only thing they're used for, gem chips. I'm quite surprised that jewel crafters, if they don't get like massive amounts of gem chips, can do something with it. But it sort of makes sense. They're just little tiny chips of gems. They put it in food. Who would want to eat that crap? Oh my god, 3 days. See how close I was cutting it? See how close I was cutting it? 3 days? So, in 3 days, that would have gotten deleted. So, on the 26th. Okay. So, that's it. There's no more. Okay, let's see how much we made. 548,362 gold. That is not bad. That is not bad. For a month of enchanting and jewel crafting. That is not bad. 500,000 gold. Okay, so that's not too bad. So let me just go over to my actual bank. Sniper bank. It's my actual bank. And then I can actually show you what I've been doing on that bank for this month. It's not too different from what I was doing last month. Honestly, it's not too different. But the only difference is now that I'm going to save a lot of time. Because, as you can see, I've got the auctioneer here. There, right there. I'm going to have to build a bank, so I'm going to destroy the enchanting hub and build a bank there. But that's pretty much what I've been doing. I don't have that much room, unfortunately. So I'm just going to list a few things, because there's going to be some things that haven't sold. And I love selling these water breathing things. They just sell for a fortune. Oh, this guy put that. Well, that's good for you. I'm going to undercut you anyway. Nice try, good sir. Ooh, 10. They actually sold. Not bad. So let me list a few more. 10. How many do I have? 6. Try to free up as much slots as I can. These. Oh my god, there's none of these. So now I'm going to be a dick. Put them to 9 each. 10. How many do I have? 30? 20? 10? 3. That's all I have. Well, that sucks. Put that. Oh, huge profit on this. 10, 4, 3. Okay, cool. Just trying to open up as many slots as I can. There we go. Okay, that should be enough, I hope. Okay, haste. Yeah, these are the old enchants. I showed it last month or the month before. These are all the water enchants, and they actually sell. There's quite a little bit of it. Okay, here we go. So let's just do the successful ones. And it begins. So as you can see, the water enchants, Gift of Haste, they're just the cheap ring ones that sell for a few hundred gold. I've been selling the herbalism things a few days ago, and crescent oil from alchemy. So I get the materials from Ward for free from my naval base here with the Tuskar fishing net, and the fish come from that, and then you go to your alchemist, and your alchemist makes crescent oil from that, or you can just buy the fish from the trade center. The rings themselves are water enchanting. You more or less buy the pattern from here for, I think, 1 enchanting tome each, so it's a 1-day cooldown for it. It's not that hard to do if you have enchanting, so it's not a big thing. I've just been crafting them on my paladin, which is my alt that has all those patterns, because my hunter picked up enchanting a lot later. And other things that I've been selling, Mark of the Shattered Hand. Yeah, that only costs 1 temporal crystal, which is only worth about 85 gold now, since I've stopped selling temporal crystals. I used to sell these thousands a week. I stopped selling them, and I started selling these things instead. Now I'm the one making the money on it. Hexweave bags, obviously, 30 slot bags from WOD Tailoring. You get the materials free. That's from my tailoring video. Again, free gold. But this, I'm so happy that I found out the WOD enchanting, because before that I was just selling temporal crystals, all expansion, raw, and they were getting bought up by the same people. And then I discovered what they were doing was just creating the WOD enchants. So this enchant takes, I think, 2 or 3 temporal crystals, which I was selling for 40-50 gold each. So I was making this, I was selling the materials for this for about 100, 200 gold max, and they were selling it for 400 gold. So they were honestly doubling. They were doubling what they were paying me for it. And then I found it out, and now I'm selling that directly. So now I've got more gold coming in as a result. I love the alchemy. I did this in the alchemy video. Most of the alchemy gold that I was making in that video was from selling these water breathing elixirs, invisibility potions, which some people use in challenge modes. Where's the other one? Where's the other one? Here we go. Swiftness potion, which increases your movement speed and swim speed. And there's also another one. There's a water walking one. And there's a rage potion version. Where's the rage potion version? Oh, there's this one. Living action potion, which makes you immune to stuns and movement impairing for 3 seconds. And there's the rage potion, which gives you, I think, 100 rage instantly. So that's like the rogue green tea, but more for warriors and bears. And that stuff sells like crazy, as you can see. But the bags in particular are my favorite. I think I have 8 tailors now, just because the Hexweave bags sell like crazy. And the other day, they were selling for 3,000 gold each, because the supply just went to 0. And so I could put them on as much as I wanted. And then the day after I listed them for about 3,000 gold, some guy posted 80 of them. And then I'm like, shit, okay, the supply's back up. So, but luckily by then I sold everything. And oh my god, these are some things that didn't sell. As you can see, I sell a lot of these enchanting vellums on this turn. So let me pick up items that have also expired. And we're already up to 100,000 gold. I wonder how much gold I made this month. I'll be surprised if I make 1,000,000 gold this month, because I've just been doing this when I log in and edit videos. I don't put too much time into the AH. I know some people use TSM, which I am going to have to start using. And I will make a video on how to set that up. I'm just too lazy to set it up because it takes a little bit of time. I know it's worth it, but I've just been a little bit lazy. And once I set that up, it's going to be a lot easier for me to snipe items on the auction house, sell them for a lot more. But I don't really want to check the auction house multiple times a day. I prefer this way of just logging in once a day, posting my auctions, and then just coming back the next day, and at the same time just going on all my alts and doing my garrison thing. I don't want to actively be logging in multiple times a day, because that's just going to start cutting into my day too much. Like this, I just play a little bit every single day, and I make enough gold in order to buy my tokens, and possibly even buy the next expansion, because we can trade in tokens for credits on your Blizzard account. So speaking of that, I think the price of tokens is going to keep going up, because the gold supply is just going up and up and up. So if someone does want to buy Blizzard balance using WoW tokens, they should be doing it now rather than later, because I was buying a lot of WoW tokens before for 30,000 gold each, and I got a year's supply of WoW time at 30,000 gold each, and now the WoW tokens are 130,000 gold each. So they're only going to go up, because the supply of gold just keeps going up and up and up. They're just making it easier and easier to make more gold. So of course the price is going to go up, which is why I like keeping certain items like mounts. I'm always selling these whenever they sell for a lot, but as you can see, I've got 8 in the guild vault, 11 in the guild vault, 6 in the guild vault, 7 in the guild vault, because they maintain their value across the expansions. And yeah, a lot of people are going to give me shit because they say these items are heavily duped, but they can technically dupe whatever item they want. It's just that, and that actually ended up happening because there was a mount in the previous expansion. I forgot which one it was. It was a mount that looked similar to the Death Knight mount that you get at level 40 and 60. And they ended up duping the shit out of them, and they were selling for like 1,000 gold each, and ended up buying a handful. But they can dupe whatever item they want if they're gonna dupe it, but they're the ones risking getting banned. I don't think they care, but I like to hold on to mounts because they maintain their gold very well, especially between expansions. Oh my god, a couple of things expired. And look at this. Oh my god, I didn't even open this bag. So this was me when I was sending myself Hexweave bags and I forgot to open it. Shit. So I've got more Hexweave bags which I can list now. Shit. Shit. But as you can see, I do on a regular basis list Hexweave bags. And this happened a week ago. Yeah, that was probably when they were selling for a fortune. If I scroll up, can I see if that's when they were selling for a fortune? No. That's when I was selling other crap. No, but yeah, bags. Bags. If you're in a high population realm and bags are selling... Oh, crap. And bags are selling for a lot, definitely be selling them. If you have TSM, which is Trade Skill Master, it will tell you on average how many things sell. So, region sale rate, average daily sold is 1. Average daily sold 1. Average daily sold 1. 3. 1. So you can sort of see how often these things sell. And if you have something like a bag, you can see average sale is 38 on a day. On this particular realm, it's a lot more than 38. It's probably close to 50. But the average region is around 40. I know because I sometimes sell a lot more bags than I could possibly hold on these tunes. When the supply went 0 in this realm, I ended up selling I think 40 or 50 in a day. So that was very lucky for me. No, but seriously, get TSM. And you also have to get the desktop program for it because that's how it syncs in between the add-on and the regional realm prices. I have that in my top 15, top 20 add-on videos that you need. I will link it. It's always in my description, so just check the description for it. I show you in the video how to do it. You just download the add-on, you download the program, you install the program, and then you go into the program and you browse where your add-on folder is. It's in your interface add-on folder, and then you find the add-on, which is TSM, and it more or less links it, and it constantly updates your add-on with the prices. So every single time I turn my computer on, it updates. And I haven't got a virus from it, so I don't have to worry about it. 1 in 150,000 gold. Okay, so that's not too bad. So we made like 600,000, so we're on like 750. So I can buy a few tokens this month. I don't think I'm gonna buy more tokens than I need. I want to get gold cap, and then I can spend more money on tokens. But I want to hit gold cap first. But everything sells. I mean, oh yeah, this is what I was talking about before. Vanishing Power removes the glyph effect. This used to say that it's made by inscription and bought at vendors. Now it doesn't. That would explain why the gold price went up. Like, I buy this at the vendor for like 8 gold if I don't have Exalted, and it sells for 20 gold. It's just stupid. It's just insane. It's just insane. And as you can see, the invisibility potions sometimes sell for 190 gold each. And water breathing potion was selling for 230 gold. That's why I love them. And Hexweave bags are always selling. Hexweave bags are just insane. And yeah, all the enchanted things like the cloaks and whatnot. Yeah, so the necks, they also have the necks, increases things by 75. Rings, they have the cheap one, which is the haste 50. And they've got the mark of the shattered hand. You can't apply this one, cannot be applied to items above 749, but the other ones can be applied because they don't have a restriction. So a lot of people that can't afford the Legion, or they don't want to buy the Legion ring enchants, end up buying these. So, lucky me, these are selling on my realm. Can't complain. And this is when I was selling raw hide. But now I use it for my leatherworking guide because I make even more gold with that, making drums of war. And the drum of war gives you the effect of a heroism pop or a time warp pop if you don't have it. So if you're doing something like a mage tower challenge, or you're doing a challenge mode and you don't have someone with heroism, you can buy those drums and just use them instead. And they sell for like 55 gold each. So the materials in order to craft it on average sell for about 30 gold, 40 gold, depending. Sometimes if I'm lucky I can sell them for 50 gold, but you can always sell the drum for more than 50 gold anyway. So now I've just increased the amount of gold I'm getting by playing, by doing my leatherworking guide. But the thing is, there's just so many items to sell that it's just too much. I can't send them all to my bank, which is why I have to do half of it on my hunter and most of it on my bank too. And then whenever I'm doing a guide, I'm doing it separately to show how much did the flask sell for. Yeah, it didn't. The flask sold for 250 gold. That's fucking nothing. Which is why I have to have multiple tunes to do it. And then when I did my Dark Moon Fair guide, which I should be releasing soon, I had to do that on a separate tune as well. Because it's just too much. There's just too many items selling. And then when I complete the guide, I just mail the things over to my bank that sells them. But the thing is, storage is always a problem because there's just so many things to constantly sell. And I don't want to run back and forth between the bank to see how much things sell for. I can now because I've got my auction house right here and I'm going to have my bank right here soon. And I can always open up my guild bank because I have a guild bank on this tune, and I have a guild bank on another tune, which is just used for storing transmog items because I have so many of them. But it just gets annoying opening up your bank and then searching the auction house because you're limited to what, 5 minutes? I mean, it's a good idea, but I prefer to keep them in my inventory for the items that sell the most. And these things in particular. I bought a few volatile earths really cheap because I know they're gonna go up in price later to sell for more than... Oh, a buyer has been found for your Pyrium bar. The funny thing about that is, I didn't do it during my alchemy guide because I was too busy doing volatile life and true gold and whatnot. Not true gold, living steel. But now I've been doing the Pyrium bar because I have a lot of ghost iron ore and volatile earth, which was very cheap, and it transmuted into Pyrium bar, which sells for around 250 gold each, and I make a few of those every single day. So it's like, every single time I do a transmute every day, it's an extra 200 gold. It's insanely easy to make gold nowadays. Insanely easy, which is why the price of the WoW tokens is only going to go up. So, if you want to get your World of Warcraft BNet balance up, whatever they call it. They used to call it BNet, now they call it Blizzard Net, or whatever. Just buy your WoW tokens now, because the price is only going to go up. Yeah, and this is when I was selling the raw hide for 14 gold each. But still, if that's the cost price of making those damn drums on leather workers. So leather workers make plenty of gold. Every profession can make gold. It's just some make it a lot easier than others. Because the listing price for these enchants is virtually nothing. Whereas the listing price for, say, gear that you make with blacksmithing costs you a couple of gold each. So some professions have better margins than others. And of course, Sorcerer's Earth I just make by transmuting. So, but I haven't done things too differently from last month on this tune. But there are a few things that I was selling. I'm always selling these damn little pets that I get for free from opening up my tailoring things anyway. And of course, the usual garrison things like the drums of oil and disenchanting the epics here and the fish. If I had a Tuskar fishing net on all my alts, and because I started doing the fleet missions on my alts to get more of these Sorcerer's Water, Sorcerer's Fire, and Sorcerer's Air, I would have so much fish, I would make even more gold. But the thing is, the inventory space is the problem, because you get so many of these fish, and there's so many fish that I think there's 14 different types, so it's going to fill up at least one bag if you're using it. It's just crazy. Okay, now I'm gonna have to open up some of these. This is expired, right? But I've got no room. Shit, see? I've run out of room, and I've still got a couple of days to go. So I'm gonna have to do this. 281 gold. 281,000. Insane. I'm gonna have to go here and just list some things to free up space. So I'll do this, and I'll do 20. Can I do 20? Can I do 16? Can't do 16. Can I do 14? 10? Okay, 10. 10 good. I'm just gonna list things that I don't even care about. Okay. To just make as much room as I can. See what I mean? Inventory is always a problem. And I have to get more of these things from my enchanter. List these things. I'm not even looking at the price. These chickens that I got during the boat quest. These things. A couple couple of bags. How many bags do I have in my inventory? 1 in my bags. Cool. Mushrooms that I got during the Glow Cap Festival. 10. These things have so dropped in price. These used to sell for 100 gold each. Starlight Rose. Now they're selling for 20 gold each. This is embarrassing. Not embarrassing, but it's just a travesty. And I still haven't sold a single one of these chickens. I bought like 3 or 4 of them, but I haven't sold. These things bounce up and down in price. Restored artifacts, I've got 170. Shit, I gotta start opening those. Black and dragon skulls go through the roof. This thing goes through the roof. Did I free up enough bag space? I don't think so. What the hell is this? -4 stamina. I'm just gonna list this for an exorbitant amount. I don't even think it's gonna sell. I don't even know if half this stuff sells anymore. These things have been sitting in my bag for so long. I might have to just stop holding some of these things in my bag. It's just a waste. Okay, here we go. And I'm just gonna open up, where's the hex weave bag? That's gonna give me some more room. Where's the hex weave? Okay, here we go. Hex weave, this one. There we go. And just open up some of this crap. So we're gonna sell a few. This one also sells for quite well. The funny thing is, sometimes at the Royal Satchel, the 28 slot bag sells for more than the hex weave bag. It's a weird thing. People in the auction house do some stupid shit. Though I have done some stupid shit back when I was a noob anyway. Like buying, by sorting the auction house by prices, and accidentally, instead of sorting it by cheapest, I ended up sorting it by the most expensive. And I ended up buying a stupid amount of light cloth for more than the crafted item was worth. That was a bad investment back in the day. That's when I was a noob. That's when I was a noob. See? Stupid stuff. Oh yeah, this was the one. This was the rage potion. Instantly restore 75 rage. I said it was 50 or 100. It's neither. It's in the middle. Okay. And I ended up sending these to myself. Okay, so let's continue opening more. Not all messages are shown. But we so if I made 500 gold on this one and I made 250, that's 750 gold. We might actually end up making 1,000,000 gold. I don't think we'll end up making 1,000,000 gold. No. Yeah, see? Okay, so this month we made 286,000 gold on this bank. I'll send 200,000 gold to my hunter. Just so my hunter's like a pimp. My hunter's a pimp. Seriously, my hunter is a pimp. She's collecting money from all the other 10 alts. She's such a pimp. My god. No, but I'm really looking forward to actually being able to live stream. It got unfortunately delayed by another 2 months. Thank you, NBN. Thank you, Australian government. So lazy. The surrounding area that wasn't even planned to have fiber optic yet ended up getting it already. What's this? Oh, crap that I don't need. Ended up getting it already. And my one ended up getting delayed for 2 months. Almost at 900,000, almost at 9 million. That is going to be a sexy number. We're going to end up getting 1,000,000 gold before 7.3. I mean, end up getting gold cap before 7.3. Because there's all the gold that's being collected on my leatherworking guide, and then there's all the gold that's being collected on my inscription guide, and then there's going to be a cooking guide. We're going to get gold cap very soon. And then we're going to do some cool live streams. We're going to PvP. We're going to farm mounts. We're just going to do random shit. So, I don't know. Hit me up with any suggestions on what you'd like to see on a live stream, because I have no idea. I haven't actually live streamed before. I have once, the Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, but unfortunately that was a shitty live stream because of shitty internet. But when I do start live streaming, I'm going to want to have some fun with it. I don't know, it's going to be fun, so I'm very excited for that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit me up in the comment section below if you have any questions or suggestions. I'm going to do another one of these next month. I'm going to give it a few days. I'm going to have to do it next month on the 20th anyway. So it doesn't really matter, but it's getting good. Hit me up if you have any questions. Hit me up if you have any suggestions for things that I'm doing. And I don't know when 7.3 is going to hit, but it is going to hit. I think they're going to drag it on as long as possible, because they said we don't want to have an expansion every year, but 7.3 is the final thing. So they're going to drag out 7.2.5 as much as they can, but they have done that as much as they can by slowing down how long it takes to release the LFR raid wings and all the quests and whatnot. So I don't know when 7.3 is going to be, but when it does happen, there's going to be a fuck ton of gold to go with it. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next month in this video. Have fun with my other playlists, like my opening playlist. I made that one separate now if you want to see my opening videos. I have the gold guide list, the playlist, and I've got the Let's Play playlist, which is just like harmless fun, but then I've got all my other games, like the horror games and the Let's Plays. So those are pretty good. I like my Game of Thrones play of the game memes, because that's a fun thing. Every single week there's a new Game of Thrones episode, and it's sort of fun looking for what's going to be the play of the game. I like that Arya got the first one in the first episode, but I'm wondering who's going to get in the second, third, fourth, fifth. I think this season is only going to have 7 or 8 episodes, so they're going to have to condense it, which means possibly every single week is going to have a play of the game, which is really fun. But then when Game of Thrones stops, I got to wait for another fucking year. So in that time, I'm probably going to do it for other TV shows. I really want Rick and Morty to have a play of the game, because Rick and Morty is so good. So I'm going to see what I'm going to do with that. Anyway, I'm going to stop ranting. Till next time, Ninja Kuma out. Bye!